The women's balance beam final in Osijek, and the top performer in qualification was the Ukrainian Anna Lashchevska, who will be the antepenultimate gymnast to compete. There they are, the balance beam finalists.
The first four finalists have 2 minutes, one touch warm-up time. Now we will start warming up.
Dakle, čeka nas greda, a pozdravimo još jednom pobjednika u preskoku, Hogben.
In the first half of the women's balance beam final, we're going to see the 4th, 6th, 2nd and 5th best qualifiers. Melanie Jesus dos Santos, the second best performer in the preliminary round, about 3/4 of a mark, slightly shy of that, behind Anna Lashchevska, the Ukrainian, who will go in the second half of the final. But De Jesus dos Santos had a difficulty score of 5.6 in qualification, just 2/10 shy of Lashchevska. So there's absolutely the potential for the French gymnast to win it, and indeed for Colline de Villar to get onto the podium with her difficulty score too. The best execution score of all of the qualifiers came from the youngster from Prague, Emma Strakosheva, who will be the first to go in the second half of the final. She had a brilliant qualification campaign, and she did also have a 10th penalty deducted for a late finish to the routine. So that really was a strong debut performance from Strakosheva. It's going to be exciting to anticipate her arrival in this final after the first half have done their work.
Zadnjih 10 sekundi, the last 10 seconds.
Dajte još jedan pljesak za sve natjecatelje.
I zagrijavanje je završeno. Molim da počnete s natjecanjem. Warm-up is over. Please start the competition.
Anna Kutashi of Hungary, the first gymnast to go. She is from Bekeshaba, which is in the southeast of Hungary, the same place as a gymnast you may well know from days gone by, the great Henrietta Onodi. Qualification score 12.1, the 4th best. Oh, that's unfortunate. She nearly got through that. It's a little bit of difficulty stabilising things coming out of the side aerial. Secure dismount from Anna Kutashi of Hungary, the senior international debutant
Vidjeli smo u ovom nastupu vrlo artistično, ali stalno je taj neki praktički ples na ruku.
She was part of the Hungarian team that competed at the Junior World Championships in Antalya last year. It started very securely. The front tuck was really well judged in terms of its line. Real issue came with the wolf turns.
Komentirala se jednom trenu, snašla se. Što je to bilo?
Pa prilikom okreta na jednoj nozi trebala su biti dva.
As well to get good horizontal height in her leaps and jumps.
Ona se snašla, stavila ruke, bit će određeni odbitaka, sve je bolje od pada.
Nastavljamo dalje, pozdravite još jednom.
Just a single layout to dismount with greater complexity no doubt to come. She should feel really pleased with how this first World Cup competition has gone. Great accomplishment to make an international balance beam final. She represents a club called Veszprémi Torna, and she scores 10.833. So a drop of just over a mark from qualification.
Druga finalistica, predstavnica Slovačke. The second finalist representing Slovakia, Sara Surmanova.
Sara Surmanova of Slovakia, 6th best in qualification. The teenager from Bratislava. As well with the front tuck somersault to mount. Little bits of stabilisation needed throughout, such as her completion of that front aerial. She's done very well to make a couple of finals over the course of this weekend. One on the uneven bars, now this on beam. The first time that she's made World Cup finals not at the vaulting table. So that itself is an important milestone. And this is now settled into a secure looking display. Just perhaps a little tentative on the jumps. She finishes really nicely. Sara Surmanova of Slovakia.
Sara Surmanova.
One of those many young athletes who started as a gymnast because, in her words, she was found, quotes, always climbing or hanging somewhere as a child. So I think she's entirely typical with a standard entry point into this wonderful sport. I'm sure there are many of you watching this who know exactly how she feels, or maybe your parents who know exactly how it feels when you've got a child who does that. Whoever it was who took the step to encourage her to formalise her energetic pursuits into gymnastics training made the right call.
Koliko se ocjenjuje, odnosno koliko je važan sam ulazak na spravo?
Nije važan, možete naskočiti u špagu, možete napraviti ludi akrobatski element, bitno je ono na kraju.
Good to see that sort of display from Surmanova after a really difficult fall at the end of her uneven bars routine yesterday. She landed pretty well flat on her back when going for the dismount. But she is a tough and determined young athlete. 11.166 is a drop of half a mark from qualification. Difficulty is actually up. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, second best in qualification, 12.533, but with a 5.6 difficulty score, the second highest that we saw in qualification. The European champion on beam in 2021. Powerful start. Did well to keep it under control because she got serious amplitude coming off the springboard. What a nicely performed front aerial. Oh, it's a cracking dismount from Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. Really well rotated. The European champion from 2021. A 6.933 for execution in qualification.
Tako da će svakako ta početna ocjena biti u startu veća. Imala je ona mali greškica, nesigurnosti, ali
a lot of complexity accumulated from many of the jumps that she does.
Samo odraditi vježbu bez pada, a onda ovi s većim težinama naravno da profitiraju.
Gledali smo jučer na dvolistinskim ručama, sada na gredi koliko je zahtjevno na taj način mijenjati spravu.
And they're largely very well performed too, with height, with intensity, with assurance.
Još jednom, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, pozdravite velikim pljeskom.
And then the double pipe to conclude was again performed with the sort of attack that she used at the start of the routine. .533 in qualification.
Još čekamo za Melanie ocjene, pa ću pročitati isto sve te njezine medalje koje je osvojila, dakle aktualna nositeljica svjetske ekipne bronce iz Antwerpena, europska prvakinja vježbe na tlu Glasgow 2018. Više boje šćeći 2019. a na gredi iz Bazela 2021. Osvojila je ekipno srebro na Europskom prvenstvu u Glasgowu 2018. pojedinačno na gredi na Europskom prvenstvu 2019. A u više boju je osvojila europsku broncu u Klužno pokretnik 2017. godine.
Way better, as expected in the final, 13.133. Difficulty is 2/10 lower than qualification, but the execution is up by the best part of a mark. Colline Deviard of France, the vault champion from yesterday.
The fourth finalist representing France, Colline Deviard.
Fifth best in qualification with 11.733. Again, the potential to move this up quite a bit. Her execution the lowest of any of the qualifiers for the final. Oh, what a double pike to conclude from Colline Devillard of France. Strong work from both the French gymnasts in this balance beam final. She's had a very good World Cup, Devillard. Part of the French team, along with De Jesus dos Santos even, that made it onto the podium in Antwerp. Switch leap mount to begin.
A među njima je i naša Tina Zelčić. Tina, samo kratko o Colline, njen nastup kakav je bio?
Njen nastup je bio solidan, to je vježba koja je stvarno korektna i što se tiče akrobatskih elemenata i serija skokova pogotovo. Međutim, ako kao sutkinja mogu uspoređivati i artističnost i nekakav dojam, bez da sada na papir zapišem, mislim da je njena kolegica za nekakvu nijansu, mislim da će to biti bolja ocjena. Ali evo opet, cure za sad bez pada odrađeno, to je jedan određeni pressing koji dolazi na sljedeće 4 cure.
Managed to fight successfully for stability after the side somersault. Not much issue at all with the execution of the dismount. What good work from Colline Devillard. 12.766, and she is in second place. She's jumped by over a mark from qualification. So France 1 and 2.
Bravo, bravo Tina, još jednom. Tina Zelčić.
4 to go. Emma Strakosheva, followed by Anna Lashchevska, followed by Tina Zelčić, followed by Lila Mokai. Hope you're enjoying all of the action so far from Osijek on the second day of finals at this World Challenge Cup event.
10 seconds.
We still have the women's floor final and also the men's horizontal bar and rings finals.
I zagrijavanje je završeno. Molimo da nastavite s natjecanjem. Warm-up is over. Please continue the competition.
We just had a glimpse there of the top qualifier, Anna Lashchevska, 13.2, but the leading mark is 13.133. Things have changed. Different dynamic now to this beam final. Emma Strakosheva of the Czech Republic.
Emma Strakosheva.
12.333 in qualification, the third best of any of the qualifiers. She's only 15. This is her World Cup debut. What an exciting young prospect from Prague. A nice fluid looking Corbett flip. What a graceful and impressive young athlete Emma Strakosheva is. A lot of very good work there from the youngster. She was part of the Czech team that finished 15th at the Junior World Championships. She was actually at her best on floor and vault there, so she's developing all the time. But they've got some prospects coming through the Czech Republic. And this was an occasion well handled. You just have to ask yourself, don't you, what goes through the mind of a gymnast when they are competing as a 15-year-old in their first senior international final. And it's a well-attended competition in a big space with a formal walkout. You're introduced by an arena presenter, you march through the entranceway, and you see right next to you, you've got two European champions performing ahead of you. One of them, the beam champion from 2021. You've also got a two-time European vault champion, the reigning European vault champion, no less, and you're in that group with them. She's delivered something here that certainly is close to what she performed in the preliminary round. It was always going to be hard to match the execution. I'm not sure that she will. Actually gets very close. 7.6 execution, 7.833 in qualification, 12.2. That's almost the same, down by just over a tenth from the preliminary round. But she does go into the bronze medal position. 3 to go. Here's the top qualifier, Anna Lashchevska. 13.2 in the preliminary round for the young Ukrainian. 16-year-old who really impressed on beam last season in World Cup competition. And she won 2 titles. What a display this is so far. Very impressive. Anna Lashchevska of Ukraine. Certainly it is going to trouble the podium. The gymnast who has returned to international competition after making her World Championship debut in Antwerp last year. She's been based in France and Germany over the last year and a half or so. Comes out of the position with such a good line and real authority in her landing. Nice way to appreciate the sort of height that Lashchevska gets on her leaps and jumps. And that's a great way to build some difficulty. Some good connection work in this performance. Again, the side aerial with a secure line. Small landing adjustment, that's all as she completes the twisting work. It's very, very good, this. Oh, 8.2 for execution. She's flown into the lead. 14 the score. What a strong display from Anna Lashevska. It could well be that another balance beam title is impending. To Croatia's own Tina Zelčić. She finished third in front of these fans last year. That was the second of her international medals that summer. She won the silver medal in Varna for her first ever international honours. Very experienced athlete. This is World Cup number 16 for her. Thus far it is looking beyond what she produced in the preliminary round. Very good work from Tina Zelčić in front of her home crowd. Now she scored 11.5 in qualification. That looks a significantly stronger display. Trains in her home city of Zagreb, the capital of Croatia. And this is her first final of 2024, having previously competed in Cairo, Cottbus and Baku. Oh, that's what the role is for gymnasts like Zelčić, to get the young fans excited, to get the next generation inspired. Did well to hold that because the foot could have slipped off. And look at the stability of the dismount, plants the feet. Her execution score in qualification was 6.9, and she has gone so far beyond that. A score of 13 for Tina Zelčić. She goes into the bronze medal position. Also adds 2 tenths of difficulty. So it is Lashevska, De Jesus dos Santos and Zelčić 1, 2 and 3, with Lila Mokai the last to go. Her score in qualification 11.566. It's been a really enjoyable balance beam final in Osijek. Lots of gymnasts stepping up from qualification and going well beyond their preliminary round displays. And a near capacity crowd in Osijek thrilled at the prospect of her winning a medal. Always draws a gasp from the crowd, that sort of mount.
Druga Tino, kratko da te čujemo, samo osvrt na nastup Lile Makaj.
Nijedna cura nije pala, znači stvarno su cure postavile jedan visoki pressing od starta i evo ovo je bila korektna vježba, pričekat ćemo ocjenu da ne govorim ništa, ali mislim da to nije dovoljno za medalju, ali nemojte još slaviti, pričekat ćemo sutkinje i evo drago mi je, tamo sam prije nastupa mislila kako ti ni treba vježba života, znači bez pomaka to je napravila, što znači u ovom sportu je glava najbitnija, a glavu ima. Bravo ti!
Bravo, bravo! Svimi su i to, sretna je jako, čekat ćemo službeno proglašenje, ali još jednom, Tina Zelčić!
Another gymnast going well beyond qualification, Lila Mokai, 12.433. That is a gain of around 0.9 from the preliminary round. What a good final. The classified results in the balance beam competition. Bronze to the home gymnast Tina Zelčić for the second year in a row. Silver won by Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France after her title on the uneven bars yesterday. And it is yet another balance beam World Cup win for Anna Lashevska of Ukraine.
Svečanost proglašenja pobjednica u disciplini greda. Award ceremony for balance beam.
The victory ceremony for the balance beam competition at the Osijek World Challenge Cup.
Medalje će uručiti gospođa Jasenka Crnković, zamjenica gradonačelnika grada Osijeka. The medals will be presented by Mrs. Jasenka Crnković, Deputy Mayor of Osijek.
Proud moment for the Deputy Mayor of the city as well
Predstavnica Hrvatske.
to present these international gymnastics medals.
Tina Zelčić.
They cannot keep her off the podium in Osijek. Last year, Tina Zelčić won her first ever international medal, a silver on beam in Varna, Bulgaria. She followed it up with a bronze medal in Osijek and has done the same a year later. A determined and disciplined gymnast who's worked very hard to break through at international level. Winning the silver medal, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France. A gymnast who has had a really successful World Challenge Cup in Osijek, adding this to her uneven bars title.
In the first place, winning the gold medal representing Ukraine, Anna Lashevska.
If you can add 8/10 to your qualification score going into a final on the balance beam, you're in with a very good chance of getting a medal. If you do that as the top qualifier, you are surely untouchable. Lashevska was exactly that today. Her 5th World Cup gold medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able to, please stand for the national anthem of Ukraine.
The national anthem of Ukraine, written by Pavlo Chubinsky and Mihailo Verbitsky in the 1860s and formally adopted in 1992 and with lyrics in 2003, played in honour of Anna Lashevska and her fellow medalists in the women's balance beam competition. The finalists in the women's floor competition. Top performer in qualification, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, who will go last in this final.
There will only be 7 finalists in this final because one finalist withdrew.
Well, we have confirmation there that Anna Lashevska has withdrawn from the women's floor final.
You may start warming up.
So just 7 gymnasts will compete.
Treće dakle finale ženskog tla, ženskog partera. Ponovno Tina ovdje s nama. Tina, određena razlika postoji određeno u odnosu na muški parter. Koja je osnovna?
In the first half of the final then we will see the third best qualifier, Colleen Divia. We'll have Polina Diachenko, the 8th best performer in qualification, Clara Petekova, the 6th best performer in qualification, and Lila Makai, the 7th best performer in qualification. And that means that there'll be an interesting wait to see what kind of scores are required for the likes of Martin and De Jesus dos Santos, the top 2 qualifiers, who are the last 2 to go in this 7-strong final.
Tako je, to nije ni problem, zapravo nekakva biomehanika te akrobatike zahtjeva da je određeni zalet, određena sila da se iskoristi za sve rotacije i salta koje oni moraju izvoditi, ali to pravilo više služi za ovaj koreografski dio. Naprimjer, morate, ne možete više od dijagonale u istom smjeru, morate izaći, vratiti se, ne možete samo ići gore-dole, tako da ima puno je pravila i ono teži se savršenosti, a
još 30 sekundi, 30 seconds.
A zapravo nitko ne može pustiti savršeni izgled.
Čeka nas finale ženskog partera. Pozdravite velikim pljeskom sve finalistice!
Zadnjih 10 sekundi, the last 10 seconds.
Colleen Devillard of France, the first gymnast to go in this women's floor final. The third best in qualification with 12.633. Colleen Deviat of France, the first gymnast in the women's floor final. Difficulty score of 4.7 in qualification, execution of 7.933. Has a very striking beginning to it choreographically.
Tako je, ovo je stvarno, rekli bi, puni paket, tu je bilo vrhunske akrobatike, plesno također prilagođeno.
Good height in her double layout tumbling sequence.
Njene građe tijela i onda treneri su tu makleri da zapravo
quite secure twisting.
ono što ne ide gimnastičaru, tako da mu daje ono
And engaging to watch.
da zakamufliramo sliku dajući ono što ti bolje ide. Znači moraš znati sakriti nedostatke i mislim da evo sve skupa je odlično, mislim da je ovo jača vježba nego u kvalifikacijama. Bilo je jedna mala greškica pri doskoku, upravo duplo grčenog salta.
A little hop coming out of the double tuck.
Gledamo, snašno se, sutkinje će to svakako malo kazniti, ali sve skupa vrlo dobra vježba.
Čini mi se od svih disciplina ovdje je nekako taj umjetnički dojam najizraženiji.
To se istraži se zapravo da ste savršeni, u izvedbi šta ne može biti, toliko je tih odbitaka.
12.633 in the preliminary round.
Kako se ona stalno smijala, malo se mrštila na jednom dijelu vježbe, tako da to sve zapravo ulazi u odbitke.
And an increase of 1/10 in this final. And it's a 10th of difficulty. So 12.733, the mark that all others need to surpass. Polina Dyachenko of Ukraine comes into this as the 8th best qualifier, 11.133, but with execution that she has plenty of room to build upon and competitive difficulty. Polina Dyachenko of Ukraine, whose first ever senior international finals have been contested this weekend. She's only 15, from Kramatorsk in the Donetsk region, and you're watching here the reigning Ukrainian junior all-around champion. She's got some very promising tumbling. Her difficulty score in qualification was 5 exactly, with a 6.133 for execution, the lowest execution score of any qualifier.
Polina Dyachenko, pozdravite i nju velikim pljeskom. Što što je zanimljivo, dakle ne treba tu biti samo ona neka ispinjena sreća i osmijeh. Zapravo je dozvoljeno doživljavati neki oblik drame uz glazbu, sve to nekako dosta epski izgleda na ovom parketu.
Tako je, samo morate
11.133 in qualification. She was 6th on the uneven bars. Where will she place in this women's floor final? Her teammate Anna Lashchevska has withdrawn from the final. So we have just 7 gymnasts. 11.733. Good jump there of 0.6 of a mark. And that's factoring in the 0.3 of penalty for going out of bounds. Klara Petekova of the Czech Republic, 6th best in qualification with 11.733. She was 7th on vault yesterday. She has been a medalist on floor at the national championships. Isn't it nice to see a new generation of gymnasts coming through in the Czech Republic? Some absolute hope there, some reason to be excited about what the future might hold. Petekova is from Šumperk in the northeast of the Czech Republic. It's the European centre of the silk trade. And she might well find herself heading down the Silk Road in the years ahead as she competes at more World Cup competitions and possibly finds her way to places like Baku, which is one of the flagship World Cup events. Still got some tidying up to do of her form in flight, that's clear, but that will come. She was the national champion on floor the year before last, Klara Petekova. Looked very pleased with that display, didn't she? She has reason to be pleased. It's well up from qualification, 12.133. That is 0.4 stronger than the preliminary round. Great work. Lila Makai of Hungary. She scored 11.3 in the preliminary round. Following on from her participation in the uneven bars and balance beam finals, Lila Mokai of Hungary. And we wish her a very happy 18th birthday in 5 days' time. She lives in Dunajváros in the area just south of Budapest on the Danube River. And we are in a Danube city here in Osijek. Dunajváros, the home city of Zsofia Kovac.
Tako je, zapravo vi nećete u finalima vidjeti lošu vježbu. Ono jedino što se na tvom
It's been a great turnaround from an injury-hit spell earlier on in her career when she was a junior gymnast.
Ono što sada stručno mogu reći za vježbu je mislim da je napravila par plesnih elemenata.
Really did grapple with whether she wanted to be doing this. And how wonderful that she made the choice to continue, because she's developed into an important part of the Hungarian squad. Lila Mokai, 11.3 in qualification, 10.9 in the final. She's in 4th place at the halfway stage, albeit a halfway point with just 3 to go because of the withdrawal of Anna Lashchevska. So it is Colleen Deviat who leads.
Warm-up is over. You may start.
Kara Petekova doing very well to have slotted into 2nd place. She was the 6th best qualifier. Just 3 to come. Greta Meyer, Abby Martin and Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. The silver medalist on vault yesterday, Greta Meyer of Hungary, 4th best in qualification for this final with a score of 12.6. The national champion on floor. She won the title in September last year. That is likely to alter the complexion of the leaderboard. Greta Meyer of Hungary, who scored 12.6 in qualification. She's represented Hungary at the last 2 World Championships. And she actually won a medal on floor at the Junior European Championships back in 2020. That competition that came right at the end of the first phased resumption of gymnastics in 2020. I think it was the Sombate World Challenge Cup in 2020 in her home country that was pretty well the first competitive international event that was held, and the European Championships came just a couple of months after that, and that's where really we started to notice Grete Moya as an international prospect. And she's picked up a lot of domestic medals since then, and some international ones too. Performed a fantastic layout Yurchenko vault to secure the silver medal in that final yesterday. She goes into second place, 12.133. Just ahead of Klara Petekova on the tie-break system. Abby Martin of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Second best performer in qualification. She is going in search of her first World Cup honours. For a 15-year-old gymnast, she has got some very promising tumbling work. Made the floor final at the Junior World Championships in Turkey last year. Also made the vault in the all-around final. Nice applause from the French coaching team as Abby Martin walks past them. And will she be walking onto the podium? Based at the South Devon School of Gymnastics in Paignton on the southwest English coast. A gymnast who absolutely is going in the right direction and whose progress is deeply encouraging. And she's been so strong in domestic all-around competitions. She's just recently finished in third place at the British National Championships. That after getting on the podium in the Welsh Open event at the National Championships there. Performed a clean sweep of the British, English and Welsh junior all-around national titles last year. 12.733 in qualification. That's also the leading mark at the moment, set by Colleen Deviat. Moya is in second place on 12.133, ahead on the execution tiebreak, 7.533 to 7.033, with Klara Petekova in third. And Martin has gone into second place, 12.533, and that means that Abby Martin has just won her first international honours as a senior competitor. To the last gymnast, and handsomely the top qualifier by over a mark, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France. It will be the Marseillaise that plays. Will it be for her or for Deviat? That's quite some way to conclude. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, as the current leader, Colleen Deviat, watches on and applauds her teammates. A strong likelihood of a second gold medal won this weekend in Osijek for the 23-year-old. Let's look back and enjoy. Good form in the air, super landing, clarity of tumbling work. Very nice body position again in the layout, the double layout. Totally correct angle of landing, coming out of the tuck position.
Slika ovdje sasvim jasna ko će biti na najvišem postolju.
Još jednom onaj element o kojem smo pričali, ona ga je sada izvela u odnosu na ostale natjecateljice, kako je ona to napravila?
U odnosu na ostale ona nije napravila dvostruki nego trostruki, međutim malo se podignuo ovaj zadnji dio. Sutini su to svakako vidjeli, ali to je, mislim, stvarno minorno s obzirom na cijelu vježbu.
Cijeli njen stručni stožer vrlo zadovoljan i ona svojim osmijehom.
13.833 was her score in the preliminary round. If she gets anywhere near that, it's going to be a second gold medal of the weekend. At the moment it's Deviat, Martin and Maya. The last score set to come in. Still to come, we have the men's rings final, and we have a result here, and it is virtually the same as qualification, even a little better by a few hundreds, but by a wide margin. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos has taken the title. Colleen de Villar wins silver, and a special moment for Abby Martin of Great Britain, her first international honours. She runs in company with a two-time champion of Europe. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos wins it, and wins it well, over her teammate Colleen de Villar. Abby Martin of Great Britain wins the bronze medal in this women's floor final in Osijek.
Bilo je ovo finale ženskog tla, ženskog partera, pred nama je još finale muških karika, još jedno finale, još jedni vrhunski natjecatelji, vrhunski gimnastičari, kao i cijela svita njih koja je danas prodefilirala ovdje Osijekom, Osječkim gradskim vrtom, ovom divnom dvoranom.
Final adjustments being performed. Time for more ceremony and pageantry in Osijek.
Molim vas sada prije proglašenja još jednom veliki pljesak.
The traditional uniform of the Sokolska Guard, and a pretty traditional sight, seeing Melanie de Jesus dos Santos winning a floor competition.
Medalje će uručiti gospođa Nihed Zeid, dopredsjednica Tehničkog odbora za žensku sportsku gimnastiku Svjetskog gimnastičkog saveza. The medals will be presented by Mrs. Nihed Zeid, Vice President of the FIG's Women's Artistic Gymnastics Technical Committee. Treće mjesto i brončana medalja, predstavnica Velike Britanije. In the third place, winning the bronze medal representing Great Britain, Abigail Martin.
The bronze medal goes to 15-year-old Abigail Martin of Great Britain. For the first time, she is on a senior international podium, and she may well be back time and time again if the start of her senior career is anything to go by.
In the second place, winning the silver medal, representing France, Colleen de Villar.
Colleen de Villar of France wins another medal to add to her vault title in Osijek. Second place on floor.
Prvo mjesto i zlatna medalja, predstavnica Francuske. In the first place, winning the gold medal, representing France, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos.
The title is won by Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France, the two-time champion of Europe on floor. It was a commanding and comfortable victory. Her second gold medal of the weekend.
Dame I gospodo, slijedi himna Francuske. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able to, please stand for the national anthem of France.
the medalists in the women's floor competition in Osijek.